Hi, my name is Coral from Zest Health. First of all, I just wanted to say a massive thank you for all your efforts during this time of crisis. And I know how hard everyone is working at the moment. But obviously, it's really important that you look after yourselves. And today I want to talk through some options just to keep you healthy in terms of the food that you're eating. I appreciate that some of the shops haven't always got the fruit and veg available that you might want, but don't forget tinned options and frozen. Those are just as good as fresh. And if you can get out in the day, local shops, greengrocers, those types of stores, we found that they've had more stock than some of the supermarkets because people haven't panic bought in those quite so much. Obviously, homemade is always going to be the best option, but I will talk about some kind of grab and go, sort of better, healthier grab and go options too. There'll be a link to my website as well, and there are some recipes on there. I'm all about making things really simple for people and keeping it really, with simple ingredients and very easy and quick to make. So the first thing I wanted to mention was breakfast. Obviously, good options are things like porridge. They give you sort of sustained energy throughout the, for quite a few hours. I would say morning, but your morning might be a different time depending on the shifts that you're doing. But you can also make things like overnight oats, and that just means that you're not rushing around trying to get ready for work. You can make them ahead, and you could make quite a few portions in one go and then just keep them in the fridge. So that's a really handy way to make sure you've got a nutritious start to your day. If you don't want to make overnight oats and you haven't got time for porridge, then look for cereals with no added sugar, things like shredded wheat, that's a good option, and also grape nuts. They're not quite so well known, but they are available in all the main supermarkets. They're full of whole grains and fibre, and they do have added vitamins in them as well. And the important thing is there's no added sugar. A lot of breakfast cereals have lots of added sugar and syrups. For lunchtime, it can be quite easy to just make a simple salad. You can get pouches of different grains. You can get quinoa already cooked in a microwavable pouch. It's like a tiny little grain, and if you do buy it like this, it only takes a few minutes to cook anyway, much quicker than rice. And it's a complete protein, it's got B vitamins in. These are great for energy as well. So really good, nutritious food to add to salads. Things like, you can get cooked beetroot, maybe half a tin of beans or chickpeas or some lentils, and then just a little drizzle of something like balsamic vinegar. You could make a salad up quite easily and make one for a few days as well. And then if you need to buy lunch out, then look for things like wholemeal bread and whole grain bread instead of white bread. Maybe swap your ham or cheese salad for something like falafel and hummus salad instead. And a lot of the supermarkets do have quite a wide range now of options, things with like avocados and nuts, couscous, pasta, millet. So it's worth just seeing what's around. That's a good source of protein and fibre. And this will help to keep you fuller for longer. In terms of dinner, things like homemade burgers, chilies, curries, those types of things you can make. It's almost as much time to make a batch for 10 as it is a batch of, for sort of 2 servings really. And a lot of the recipes on my site use tinned pulses, and that makes things really quick. But obviously, if it's not possible for you to do that, rather than ordering a takeaway, check out the chilled and frozen sections for prepared vegetables, for things like stir fries, curries or stews, or roasted veg. Buying those sort of prepared vegetables just means that you're cutting back on so much time, but at least you can get a nutritious meal from them. And instead of waiting for rice to cook, although I don't think many of the shops have got a lot of rice at the moment, not the brown rice anyway, you can get microwavable rice pouches like you can the quinoa. And you can also get ones that have different grains in them as well. And a great option to add to any savoury lunch or dinner is a product called Enchavita. It's quite a cheesy flavour to it, but it's packed with protein and fibre, and again lots of B vitamins, which are great to boost your energy levels. Now, obviously, you might want to have a snack in between meals, or you might struggle to actually have time for a proper meal. I can completely appreciate that. That really might not be possible. So, the key to healthy snacking is to have something that's healthy and will fill you up. Something like a packet of crisps or a few biscuits will leave you feeling hungry for a short time later, and you're just not getting the nutrients that your body's going to need, particularly in times like this of stress and working so hard. So something like having a banana with a few almonds is a much better option, because you're getting the vitamins and minerals and fibre, and it will help you to feel fuller for longer. And what that also does is, if you have something like nuts or things like hummus and things, those have got protein in, and that helps with the sort of sugar crash that you can get after you've eaten certain foods. Some other snack options are things like mixing nuts and seeds with some dried fruit, maybe apple slices or celery with nut butters. There's not just peanut butter around now, there's lots of different nut butter options. You can get rice cakes and also rye cakes with hummus. Things like veggie sticks, things like celery, carrots, cucumber, that's a really good option with hummus. You might want to try like a soya or coconut yogurt with some fresh fruit. You could make a green smoothie as well. If you make a green smoothie, try and make sure half of it is green veggies, so that's things like kale and spinach, and then just a bit of fruit to sweeten it. And you could even make your own trail mix, which is basically just some nuts and seeds and dried fruit. Just chuck it in a tub or in a bag for the week kind of thing, and just have a handful when you're feeling hungry in between meals. And if it's something like savoury that you prefer, things like there's a product called Hippies and lentil chips. Those are much better options than standard crisps. With snacks made from chickpeas and lentils, you're getting much more protein, more fibre, and a lot less fat. Things like ordinary crisps just don't really have the nutritional value of those compared to some of the other products that you can get. And for really another simple sort of snack options are things like naked bars or pulsing bars, and you can even get sort of squashed fruit. There's under the brand of the Bear brand, they're called yo-yos. Obviously, if you can take fresh fruit, that's great, but if you just want some sort of things to keep in the cupboard as well, so you've always got something to hand. And just be aware, if you're buying things like green smoothies, a lot of those are just filled with apple. So obviously if you make your own, you can make sure there's green veggies in them. A lot of the ones in the shops are just sort of fruit really. So it's just, you're better off just having the actual apple itself. So I hope you found those suggestions helpful. And as I say, the link to my website will be here. I'm the founder of Zest Health, and I help people to lose weight and feel great on a plant-based diet, so they have more energy and more confidence and can finally feel in control of their eating. Thank you very much for watching.